Hey friends, welcome back to Crafter Support. Today is day 10 of Crafting Christmas, and we're going to be doing a larger than matte design. So I'm going to be using my Cricut Joy, but you can use any of your Cricut machines to make this, and you can make it as big as your heart's desire. So the first thing we're going to do is pull up a design. I chose this Christmas tree. It's 2 layers. It's pink and green. It's in sections, but you can choose whatever you want. You can do a print and cut with this. Just use the same concept that I teach you. So here I'm just using my Cricut Joy. Like I said, this is probably the easiest machine to show it on and keep everything the way I have to film it. So that's why I chose this. So if you look here on the right hand side, these little red tick marks are basically telling us that it's too big, you can't cut it. And that's okay, that's what we want to see. You could make it twice as big as this if you wanted to on your Cricut Joy. But the main thing is, doing this design, I need a background. So I'm doing an offset. I'm just going up here to change the color to white. And that's the main piece that I'm going to be gluing my pink, and it shows green, but I use blue to build my design back onto. Here's where if you do a print and cut, it's super simple because you just do your offset background and then put your print and cut, especially if you use like sticker paper, just slide it on with the sticker paper. So what you're going to need to do is make this rectangle or the square, however big your largest mat is, and you're going to make multiple ones of those. So you're just going to duplicate those rectangles. But first I noticed that my background had a bunch of cuts in it, my offset, because of the way the design was. I'm just going to go into contour and I'm going to contour all of those little cuts out. Click the X, and now it's a solid piece. So once we have our solid piece, now we can look into where we're going to slice it at. Because it's symmetrical, it's this like the same on both sides, I'm just going to go straight down the middle because you're not going to see this seam whenever you put it back together, or at least you won't be able to see very much of it. So I'm going to send the rectangle to the back so I can see where it's lining up that it's going to cut. You're not going to want to cut every single layer down the center, but you can cut the majority of them down the center. If you're, like I said, if you're making one design, you want to cut the least amount of pieces, and you'll see how it works whenever I get all the pieces cut out. But I'm just moving the rectangles off to the side. I made way too many. I didn't need that many, but so I'm just going to line this up, try to get it in the center as best as I can. And then all you're going to do is slice this. So you're just going to highlight both pieces and you're going to slice. Another thing is, once you get them separated, like once you do the design and you start pulling it, you can't make any changes to the size. And I don't remember if I tell you that later on in the video, but make sure you don't. Now that they're both highlighted, you can just click slice, and then you can get rid of the gray rectangle and the piece that you sliced off, and just move your white pieces out of the way. And you're just going to highlight it and click delete. So then you're going to do this with the other two colors. So, and then you're just going to build it back together like a puzzle. And I use glue, but like I said, if you wanted to use sticker paper and do a print and cut, this is so easy. And it's very, you can't really tell that you do it because of the way you can line them up. So now I'm just going to separate the green and the pink. And the pink we're going to cut again down the center. You don't have to, but that's just how I wanted to be able to make sure I was lining it up correctly. So I'm just removing the green from there, and I'm going to line up another rectangle over top of the pink and slice it down the middle as well. But then you'll see once we get to the green, when we highlight them, well, we're going to highlight this and slice it, then we can get rid of the rectangle and the extra piece. But when we get to the green, we're going to try to fill as much of our mat as we can with that last layer, the top layer that is going to be on there. And that's how you like don't have your eye drawn to like a seam. So if I just cut the green down the center, like your eye is going to be drawn to the seam that's in the design, but because I try to fill as much of the mat as I can with the top layer, there's only a small section that you have to build on, and you'll see that whenever we go through and put it together. that it doesn't, like, your eye's not taken away from the actual image. It doesn't look like there is a seam anywhere. So that's whenever you're creating your design, you need to think about where's the best place to do this cut at. What is the best, shape for me to do this cut? Should I cut it as a rectangle? Should I cut it as a square? And then you'll kind of start getting an idea of how it works best. But just play around with it. And like I said, it's really easy once you realize this is all you have to do. You just have to cut, slice, get rid of the pieces you don't need, and don't change the size of anything. So now that we have everything cut and sliced, once we cut them out of our machine, then we just put it all back together like a puzzle. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to jump over to our Make It station, and we're going to put it together. Okay, so here's everything that we're going to need for this project. So we're going to use the blue glitter paper instead of green, and then of course the pink, and this is our white backing. You need your blue or your green mat. It doesn't matter. If the cardstock doesn't stick, my green mat isn't very sticky either, so I'll just tape it onto my blue mat. And you'll need a way to cut your paper, and of course your Cricut Joy. So let me move my little decor here. And the first thing we want to do is cut our white design piece, so the part of the tree first. So we need to just trim our paper down so it fits the size of the mat. And just move this. Okay, so we need to cut it at 4, I believe. Let me come all the way down and check. Yeah, we're going to cut it at 4 inches. And I'm just going to come a little bit over here. Cut here, and we need 2 of these because remember we're cutting 2, 1 for each side. Okay. And then I'm just going to do all the cutting now because it'll just be one less thing I can take off of my desk. And then we're going to cut our blue and our pink piece. So this is all Cricut glitter paper, like glitter cardstock. And I love the quality of it. I'm not a huge fan of their regular cardstock when it comes to just making design, like just cutting things out, because it's textured on the one side. And I don't know, that's just not my favorite, but I do love their glitter cardstock, and I love their like specialty paper that you can get at like Michael's and things like that. You can also get it online, but usually if I need paper, it's like I need it now and I can't wait any longer for it. So I don't normally order paper unless I'm planning something way in advance and I choose to order it ahead of time. All right, so the first thing we're going to do now that we have our pieces cut is we're going to move our cutter. All right, and now we're going to load our paper. So you're just going to start in the left-hand corner if you're new to this, and you're going to line it up. Usually turning it at an angle gives you a good view of it. And then I'm just going to bray it down. So what this brayer is it's just a way to roll your paper down and get it to stick really, really well to the mat. Okay, so we can click continue on our laptop or whatever device you're using. And it's just going to connect to our Joy. And this is a really fun thing to do. I made a train for my classroom, and I made it obviously larger than the mat allowed, and I did a print and cut with it, and it turned out so cute. If I have any more pictures of it, I did do some like reels and stuff on Instagram with it, but if I have a picture, I'll insert it for you guys to see it. But it turned out so cute. My daughter added like fluff to it to make it look like snow or smoke, and it was just really neat. Okay, so now it's telling us to click go, and this is going to click the first, or this is going to cut the first side of our tree base. So remember, we're cutting it in half, and this is going to be the part that we just layer our glitter colors onto. And it's really easy and it's really fast, and So don't be intimidated by it. It's like you saw how easy it was to just cut out the layers. And when it comes to lining them up, it'll be super easy. So we're just going to bend our mat a little bit, use our spatula. Oh, this stuck down really well. Okay, and then we're just going to kind of peel it up. Recycle that. And then I'm going to flip this over to get our tree piece off. And I'm just using the spatula to hold it down. So there's one piece. And now it's asking us for the next piece. And we're just going to go through and cut all of the pieces. So you'll definitely have to share with us on our Facebook group. If you're not part of that, please join it. If you do any larger than mat projects, because I love to see them. I think they're so neat. Okay, by the way, I'm using 80-pound cardstock for this paper. I think it's only 65 or 60 maybe. Maybe it's 65, but I think I use 80 pretty much all the time on that. It just cuts it really, really nice. All right, I'm going to click go. And remember, you can do this with any of your machines. So maybe you don't just have a Joy. Maybe you have the Explorer Air 3. Imagine how big of a project you can make with the Explorer Air 3. Now, the Cricut Venture, which is the new Cricut machine, I'm sure is absolutely amazing, and it cuts huge projects, but I don't realistically have one, space for that, two, a need for that type of machine. But knowing that you could just do it this way is, you know, it's still pretty cool. Like, you can just make whatever you want. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to use our spatula to pull up the pieces. And then we'll flip our mat and pull the tree off. And again, the reason we do that is so that our paper doesn't roll. Okay, so the next color, I need to make sure I'm doing the right color. The next color is going to be, I think, okay, so this is the pink that we want. And you know what? I just realized I need 2 of each color, and I didn't do that. So let me get this one going, and then we'll cut 1 more of each. I'm not sure if I have enough blue, so we may be making some changes here. Oh, you know what? I have another whole piece of blue, so we'll be fine with that. Okay, so now I have to change the setting, like what cardstock we're using. So I need to go into Browse All Materials, and I need to type in glitter cardstock. And then pops right up, and we're going to click done. We're going to click remember material maybe. Let's see if it gives us that opportunity. Yes, remember that. And we will click go. And now I'm going to find more of my cardstock while that cuts. It's a good thing it's very close. Pretty sure I do have more blue. I have so much of it up here that I'm trying to use up. I have lots of black, and here we go. I have more blue. Okay, so here's our blue, and I have more pink as well. So we will go ahead and cut 2 more strips. All right. Let's go here. There's that one. And this one. You guys were probably saying the whole time, like, cut a second strip, and I just couldn't hear you. Okay, so this is just going to be something I make for in my office for Christmas, but I just wanted to give you guys the idea in case there's something you would like to make that is bigger, like maybe you want to make something to hang on your wall, or like a big poster. Like I see a lot of people do the big posters for welcome signs for like family coming to visit and things like that. This is a great way to do that. and not have like it in little sections. This way here you can do one big piece. Okay, so let me just make sure that this cut all the way through. It did. So now what I'm going to do is when I unload it, I'm going to do the opposite with the glitter. I'm going to pull the design out first. And the reason I'm doing that is because one, it's thicker, and two, they're little pieces, like they're individual pieces. And I just want to get all of those little snowflakes out. There we go. So here's this side. So we have these little pieces here. And now I'm just going to peel the mat, pull the piece off that we don't need. And see, like there's really delicate snowflakes. Let me dust that off. So there's really delicate snowflakes, and I'm just going to layer them like this to know. Obviously, we'll be able to tell which order they go in, but just for now, just to layer those. And then we're going to use our scrapey tool, and we're going to get our little spatula tool, and we're going to get our snowflakes off. You could keep these if you wanted to use them for something, but I'm not going to do that today. All right, there's that. Here's another piece. Sometimes my spatula will get the sticky from the mat on it, and that's what makes the other pieces stick. Okay, so now we're going to do side 2 of the pink. And now remember, I saved like what material we're using, and so the machine, I'm not going to need to re-put that in because I clicked the remember material setting. All right, so now we're going to stick our second piece in. And guys, I think if you have the Cricut Joy and you start doing things like this, it opens up, or any machine actually, not just the Cricut Joy, but it'll open up ideas for you, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, I can make this, and I can make that, and I can do this with that. And it just makes it just gives you more of an opportunity to use different things. So the one thing we made was a huge gingerbread house. We've made a big Christmas tree. We made, what else did we make? The train. The train is actually, the one section is pretty big, but then we made an entirely end section that like went the length of the hallway, and it turned out so cute. So that's what kind of made me think about this for you guys, just to give you the opportunity and the knowledge of how easy it is to actually make a project bigger than what your mat will allow you to cut. And honestly, like the Cricut Joy makes it cuts glitter paper really, really well. My Explorer 2, I used to have to put more pressure on, and it could just be because they're the newer design machines, but I love that I rarely have to recut with my Joy or my Maker 3. But then again, I could have just had the wrong settings on the Explorer 2, but I love the Explorer 2, especially for vinyl cutting. It cut vinyl beautifully. I ran a full-time business off of, how many did I have? 1, 2, 3 Explorer 2s, and never had to change their blades, and I love those for vinyl. But I noticed the paper and the thicker cardstocks, I love how the Joy and Maker 3 cut them. So it's going to do a double cut as well. I'm not sure if I said that. It does a double cut. It does 2 passes, and that's what cuts through the glitter. Because if you're not familiar with the Cricut cardstock, the glitter cardstock, it's nice, thick cardstock. Okay. I'm going to poke that out and poke this out. And I'm just going to layer them just like I did with the other ones. This way and this piece. Now, normally there's not a lot of like drop off of glitter with the paper itself, but when it cuts, it does have a lot of like drop off. So that's just something to, to have an idea about. And you could just take, if you have like a lint roller and you get too much on there, you can just kind of run your lint roller over it and pick it up. I love glitter. I don't care where it is. It can be anywhere, and it doesn't bother me. My classroom has glitter unfortunately right now everywhere because of all the Christmas stuff that we did that's all glittery. Okay, so now we're going to do our blues, and this is going to be our top, the very top layer. All right, it's just the same thing. You're just going to do oh, what did I do there? It's just going to do multiple cuts. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I need this one for this piece. Or do I want an even bigger piece? All right. Let me, to be safe, because I don't think this is going to fit the whole way. Oh, wait, yeah, that will. To be safe, I'm going to cut an exact 4.5 cut for this piece. These pieces I can use for something else. It's fine. But I did a larger portion. Remember how whenever I was saving it and I was splitting it up, I did one large portion and then one smaller piece for the final top? Well, that's what this cut is. This is that final big piece. So we want to make sure that we have plenty of space for it on our mat. All right, this is why they say cut or measure twice, cut once, because I didn't pay attention to what I was measuring. Okay, but now we have it and it's all good. Let's put our piece on here and braid this down. So are you guys almost ready for Christmas? Let me know in the comments down below if you're ready. I have most of the gifts, but nothing is wrapped. But that's where you guys are going to come in, because you guys are going to help me get that done. We're going to be making gift tags, and we're going to be making just some cute hang tags for on our things. So keep following us along. Make sure you have that bell clicked, the notification bell, so that you don't miss any of the uploads. And I did switch the time, and I had posted that I would be uploading at 7 p.m. because my 7 a.m., every time I tried to put it for 7 a.m., even though I changed the like the little time stamp thing where it asked like this like Eastern Standard Time, like where do you live and all that, it still was posting at different weird times. So I decided to just post at 7 p.m. and that worked. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just 7 p.m. Oh, this is cutting so nice. And isn't this blue really pretty? And it has the pinks in it, and I thought they could be layered and look really cute. So while that's cutting, we're going to be using this glue. This is the Tombow Mono two-way glue. So like it's a permanent glue if you stick things together on it when it's wet, and then it's like a temporary glue whenever you put it on something. Let that thing dry before you stick it to something else. I use this all the time whenever I did Stampin' Up, and I really liked how it reacted with paper. So that's what we're going to be using with this glitter, because I need something that's going to be a nice strong hold, and I know this glue will work. But the downside of this glue is it's very messy and it's very sticky and yucky, and it gets on you and you make a mess. So just being mindful of that if you're going to use it. It's just, I don't know, I think glue's messy, period. That's why I like to use tape runners and anything self-adhesive. That's what I prefer to use. Okay, so we're almost done. And then once this gets cut, we have our little, like the small section it's going to cut for us. And then all of the cutting will be done, and we can begin layering our pieces. Actually, we can begin getting these pieces together. So it's very easy to do the bottom layer because nobody's going to see that, right? Nobody's going to see the bottom layer. It's basically the layer that is hidden. So what I do is, you can use any tape for that. You can use any clear tape, any whatever type of tape you want. So I'm just going to show you by doing this tape. It looks pretty even. So we're just going to tape it from the bottom up. Well, middle. Let's do the middle. Like right there. And this will be the back. We'll flip it over. And then I just want to make sure I have it all nice and sticky. I'm not really worried about the top at all because I'm going to have something layered over it. All right, so this one is done. And we're going to click on load. So like I said, I'm showing you guys this on our on the Joy, but you can do this with any machine. I know I keep saying that, but I just want to make sure you understand that you're not limited to only doing it with the Joy. Okay, and that's that. Now I will save this this paper, and I will save these little blue glitter ball things, like the little circles, because I'll be able to use those for other projects. They'll just go in a little jar that I have for extra pieces. And you would be like shocked at how often you can use these. I think the other video I did, I said about saving something else that you could use as confetti and things. And honestly, when it's glitter cardstock, I try to always save it, because you could do shaker cards, and you could do confetti, and you can do, when something just needs a little something extra, you can absolutely use this glitter cardstock chunks or pieces. So here I'm just going to push out, and I'm not keeping the snowflakes just because they can get a little fussy, because like this little piece here is still hanging out in there, and we want him to go. So we're going to poke him out and pull it out this way. Okay, so there's the top. Here's the bottom of our tree. I'm going to poke this out, and I'm just going to go through and poke out all these little pieces. And I have a little trash thing right here beside me, so it just kind of, it either falls in or eventually goes in whenever I sweep it up. Okay, there's that piece. And let's get this piece done. So I could do this after I cut everything, but I'm trying to be like systematic. Is that a word? Systematically putting the pieces together. Okay, so let me scrape the mat real quick. And you can just use the side of your spatula if you'd like. And now we're going to put our final piece in, and then we can layer this all together. So it's just showing that I need a tiny piece up here, and I'm pretty sure this will work. So let's put this here and braid on, and then load it, and we can begin. So the next layer after the white layer is going to be our, can you guys, I hope you can hear me over the machine going. We're going to do the pinks. So let me click go. All right. And so our pink layer is going to go on first, and we can just pull one of the sides. And the first thing I would do is you want to make sure you have the right side first off, because that is kind of key. And you can layer it up just like so. And remember, you're going to put this flat piece along the seam. And then you can just figure out where you want it here, which I have to pop this out because this piece didn't come out very well. So let's push this out. There we go. So these are going to go on the line. And then this side's going to do the same thing. So then you're just going to line all of this up to make sure you have all of your pieces together. Oh, look, and that's done cutting. Perfect. All right, so click on load, and then we can give ourselves some more room. Close up CJ. And take our little piece out that cut. And again, we'll save all the pieces. All right, move our mat. Okay, so now we're ready to put it all together. I just don't know if, yeah, not all those pieces came out. So like I said, you may have to just kind of poke some of these little pieces out. No big deal. Just like so. All right, so this is going to be the portion that we need to add. And see, this is how we're going to do it. So this layer has to touch this way, just like the white backing. But then watch what happens whenever we layer the top blue. So you see the seam right there. But when you layer the blue, you can't there's no seam because the top layer, we did the biggest, widest point of the design. Does that make sense? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to end up gluing the pieces onto here, and then we'll lay it all down as one piece onto here. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Okay. So like this piece is going to go here, and you'll just line it up and glue it that way. And you can see that that it's all lining up correctly because your snowflake is in the right place. So let's start gluing. I think I'll just do some glue here. It doesn't take much of this glue either. It's pretty sticky glue. And it may gush out and make a mess, but it'll be worth it in the end. This is what I tell myself when I use things that I don't necessarily like using. I'm like, it'll be worth it in the end, so we're going to do it. Okay, but I want to clean the glue up off my mat because it'll be very sticky and yucky. All right, so let's move this aside. And then I'm going to put some glue on to this piece. Probably put too much on that piece, so I'm just going to put way less on this piece. And then, like, pretty much once you get yourself positioned with this, it is then like forever going to be there. Like, it's not going anywhere. So just like that. And then look, it's perfectly lined up how we need it, and it's ready to go. So we're just going to move that out of the way, and then we're going to do our next pink pieces. And this is why I say lay it out, because then you'll just be able to grab and you know where it's going to go. Then here. And the other thing, I think I said this earlier, if you use sticker paper, or if you use vinyl, you can skip the whole process of doing this. You're just going to line up one whole piece with transfer tape and put it down, where you won't have to do like we're doing each individual piece here. You won't have to do that. Okay, let's use our brain. Oh, I see pieces that need cut out. This piece was confusing me, but it's because I couldn't see the whole design. Okay. All right, so the design goes here. It just looks like there's a piece missing out of the snowflake, and that's okay. You'll have these things. All right, so it goes like that. And then this is the bottom piece. So this will go here, and this will attach here, and this will attach up here. And then we'll have those little pieces as well. Okay, so let's do this piece. So you guys will have to let me know if you enjoyed doing this, like if this is something, it's almost like a little puzzle that you put together. And then it makes a really cool design. Okay. That's not right. It goes this way. Wait, how's that? It has to go this way. Like this. Okay. Just like so. There's that. Okay. And I may have a piece that I'm missing, which is going to go right here. But we're going to put that upside down and do that. And then we're going to do these two pieces. And we're going to do this. So we're just barely going to put anything down on there. Okay, press down. And then this is our offside. And it's going to line up like right there. So we're going to put a little bit here. Okay, move that aside, and now this piece. Okay, this piece goes here. Okay. And then this goes here. And then this piece will go right here. And then all of our pink is done, and we can get ready to do the blue top layers after we apply it to the actual tree base. Okay. So we'll bring this piece back over and we'll glue this piece on. Okay. So this and this lines up. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the little tree trunk right like that, and I'm going to put it on. Okay. I think it's going to go right about there. If I need to, I'll move it down some. Okay, and then we'll do the next layer. So I'm just going to line it up and make sure that it all looks good, fits into place. And then this is our next piece. We're just going to put a little bit of glue on here. Put our circle down. Like so. Just kind of put it all into place. Just give it a second to press it down. And then this piece. So obviously there's a piece that I cut off of here that I didn't get off. So here it is on our mat. I'm gonna peel that off. And it's gonna go right here. Okay. I'm just gonna stick it on right here. I just don't want my fingers in the glue, and it will dry clear, so it's fine if there's a little bit of glue there. Okay, and then here's our top. So what I would do next is just kind of line it up so that all of our pieces are covering the spots that we need them to cover. And then I'm just going to glue it just like that. So I'll do my top piece and I'll put glue on the back of it. Actually, I think I'm going to use my tweezers to line it up better. Because you have a little bit of give with this glue, not a whole lot, but a little bit. All right, now we'll hold this in. I have like stuff falling at my feet. I just kind of like start layering stuff up under my desk where I have like a little ledge, and that's where I stick things when I video, and they just like fall constantly. Okay, there we go. So now that piece is in place. And we're going to do this piece. These are the Cricuts, like, I don't know, I call them like reverse tweezers because they hold, like you don't have to squeeze them to make them hold something. You squeeze them to open. And I love them because I have really bad wrists and I don't have very strong hands. My hands are actually really weak. I blame it on baton because I was a majorette and they just, I just don't have much strength in my hands. So these really help. So if you have like arthritis or you have issues with your wrists, carpal tunnel, anything like that, these tweezers are a lifesaver for so many things, not just even crafting. You can use them to help you hold other things too. And here you go. So that's it, guys. So this is how you make something larger than your mat, and it can turn out super cute. So I've seen where they've done like Mickey Mouse heads, and they just do all sorts of things. And you can absolutely do whatever it is you want. But look how cute it turned out. I kind of feel like I should have shifted it a tiny bit over to the left because I feel like there's more on the left than on the right. But isn't that cute? This is going to set in my craft room and looks super adorable. And I hope this gave you guys some really great ideas of what you can do, even if you have a Cricut Joy, that you can make something much larger than the mat itself. And here's what just what I want to remind you of is, I mean, normally you wouldn't have been able to make this because it's too small, or the mat's too small, but because it's larger and you cut it up by using those blocks I showed you, the squares and rectangles, and that's how you make your design. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're all having a great day. And I think this is day 10 of Crafting Christmas. So we will talk to you in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching. Bye.